How's it going, Miller Buccaneers, students and families and staff and whoever else might be stumbling upon this reading of Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go? Before I jump into reading this classic, I want to give you a bit of background information on why I'm doing this. And if you don't want to hear the cheesy backstory behind all of this, I'll leave a timestamp in the comments so you can get to the good stuff. For those of you who haven't been in my class or know about my tradition, here's the scoop. Every year, on the last day of school, I read Oh, the Places You'll Go to my students and ask them to sign that year's copy and leave little notes or messages in it that I can look back on. I've done this every year that I've been teaching, and I had planned on doing it this year in person, right? But alas, the corona. So I've decided to share it here with all of you. But for good measure, right, here's the copies from previous years. I keep those in my house, and I look through them every once in a while. And I know that I'm not the only teacher who does this, because I stole this tradition from one of my favorite teachers growing up, Mr. Sprague. He was my 8th grade biology teacher, and he was probably one of my favorite teachers, hands down. To put it simply, he was the absolute coolest. He was an Ironman triathlete, a brilliant scientist, generally a good guy, and he had this really cool handlebar mustache that everybody initially would make fun of him for, but by the end of the year, that was Mr. Sprague, right? It was unforgettable. So on the last day of 8th grade, Mr. Sprague whips out a copy of Oh, the Places You'll Go, and he tells us that every year he reads it to his students on the last day of school. And he read it, and he cried. And that was really powerful and really moving, because it showed us that he genuinely cared about each and every one of us as students and as people, and he wasn't just some grade-slinging gun for hire, that we had kind of become family over the course of the year. And this was really powerful for me. To see a grown man that we all admired just cry these really complicated tears of both joy and sadness was eye-opening. And he showed us and me that being a man meant more than just doing manly, macho, sporty things, right? That you could be a man and still cry while reading Dr. Seuss to a bunch of 8th graders. And I knew in that moment that when I became a teacher, because I'd known I wanted to be a teacher since 3rd grade, that I would read that book on the last day of school to all of my students every year, just like Mr. Sprague. So I hope that by doing that in this video, I can share some of that joy and happiness and energy with you guys. So to my students this year, I've missed you more than you can know. To the graduating seniors, some of whom I've had the pleasure of teaching or coaching, I am so proud of each and every one of you guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. I hope for everyone else that is watching this video that it brings you some happiness in these weird times. So without any further ado, let's begin. Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. And with your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. And wherever you'll fly, you'll be the best of the best. And wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. And you can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. And you'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump. And the chances are then you'll be left in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're darked. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find. For a mind maker-upper, to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long, wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish, wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place. The waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying, and you'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go, there's fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame? You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone. Whether you like it or not. Alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There's some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go. Though the weather be foul, on you will go, though your enemies prowl, and on you will go, though the hack and cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. And you'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with great care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft. And never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you will move mountains. So, be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley, Van Allen, O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way. For my students this year, I miss you all, and I hope to see you guys soon. For the graduating class of 2020, go and move mountains.